Alright, so the lighting's not the best, and I just woke up, I'm not gonna lie. But I have my DCP interview today, and it's my second, it would be my second DCP if I got accepted. So on this channel I actually have another video of my first phone interview, so I thought I would do a video of my second one so you guys can see what the differences in questions, because I know they're going to ask me questions about my first DCP during this interview and everything like that. So yeah, right now it's 11:08 and my interview is at 11:15. My hair is really bugging me. Should be calling pretty soon. Last time I had a phone interview, they actually ended up calling me late because I think their first interview ran over a little bit. I'm super nervous. I was super nervous my first one, but I'm more nervous this time because I feel like they're gonna ask me so many questions about my first program and I'm just not. Last time I felt so much more prepared. This time I don't feel prepared at all, but we'll see how it goes. Or they're gonna call me early this time. Hello? This is she. I'm great, how are you? Yes, it is. Awesome. That's correct. No, I am not. I have. I am. I only have my ears pierced, but I barely wear earrings in them, so. It's a double. But yeah, so I have my doubles pierced, but I only wear the piercing in the one hole. Like the traditional one. Yes, I do. Yes, that is correct. So my roommates, my last program, I am so fortunate. I became best friends with literally all of them, and we're all still really super close, and I'm actually going to visit one next week in Virginia. And I've already visited two of my other ones from the program. So I got really super fortunate. We were very close. The only situation I can really think of that we ever had was we had a situation where one of us was taking some food that didn't belong to her. But it was just a sit-down conversation that we had, and it was resolved pretty quickly, and she apologized, and we were good to go after that. I absolutely loved my first program. I learned so much. I gained so much valuable information that I can apply to the real world, and it was just honestly the best time of my entire life. I have never felt like a more authentic version of myself than when I worked at Disney, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, they are. So, out of all of them, Disney was obviously one of my absolute favorites because it was just an incredible experience. I met some of the best friends I've ever made, And going to the parks every day was awesome. And then I also loved the actual work I did. I got really super fortunate, and I worked at both the Grand Floridian and I worked at Epcot because I worked at the Food and Wine Festival. And I thought that was an absolutely incredible experience because I got to experience the resort and the park experience in like different ways. But then I also loved all the guests I made, especially at the resort, because, you know, at the resort you had those repeat guests who would come in every single day, and you actually got to make connections with them and get to know them and their families and why they're on the trip, and like get to talk to them all the time. And like I thought that was really, really cool. And so I absolutely loved working both jobs, but it was such an awesome experience. This program, I'm really, really interested in doing like attractions or a character performer. The auditions are actually coming to Phoenix, I believe September 20th, and I really want to audition for some sort of character performer. Honestly, I just like working with people, so any job that like I get to work and like talk to people all day is like somewhere that I feel like I would fit in really, really well. But I would love to experience the program like from a different point of view other than just like food and beverage like I did last time, even though I loved working in food and beverage. Oh yeah, could you do that for me? Awesome, thank you. I read a little bit into it, but would you mind giving me an overview? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome, thank you so much. Honestly, I'd be comfortable with either. I did plays growing up all the time, so I'm very, very used to learning lines and memorizing them and being able to do them later on. So I'm very comfortable with things like that. I would let them know that unfortunately they weren't making the height requirement and we need to do what's best for their safety. And I would probably point them and their parents maybe in another direction of a different attraction that they could ride that was just as fun. Like in Animal Kingdom, they have the dinosaur ride, the time travel one. I'm sorry, I totally blanked on the name of it. Okay. But like you can point them in a direction of attraction like that so that they can still ride a really fun ride, but so that they're being safe and not going on a ride that they're not quite tall enough for. Yes, I do. I actually have done lifeguarding before. I was certified when I was in high school. Yeah, yeah, I did. Okay. No. I really liked lifeguarding when I did it in high school. It was a fun experience. Again, you get to have like interaction with guests, and I thought that was really really cool. And also, the Disney water parks are some of my favorite. I absolutely love Typhoon Lagoon. Like I would beg my roommates to go with me all the time because I love the wave pool. So I thought it would be really cool to work at one of the water parks, especially because I did work at I worked at Epcot and I worked at the resort. So working at the water park this summer would be like a totally different experience than both of those. So I get to like learn even more about like Disney and all the different like aspects of it. Yeah, of course. I would probably just explain to them how important it is for their safety that they wear the life jacket just in case anything were to happen. We want to make sure that we have their safety in mind, and we want to make sure that that is like our first priority. You know, that's Disney's motto: "Safety begins with me." We want to make sure that everyone there is safe, and so would be really important to them to make sure they're wearing the life jacket. And if they still were um, maybe refusing to use it, I would maybe grab a leader or uh, someone to come and talk to them more about how important it is. Yeah, of course. So I actually danced from 3 to 18 competitively. So I have a ton of experience in fixing snags in costumes and fixing zippers real quick and sewing on buttons and everything like that, because in dance, you know, you'd be doing a movement and the costume would totally rip in the middle of like you rehearsing, and you'd have to quick get out the sewing kit and try and like get it together before you go on stage. So I'm totally used to doing like quick fixes and also like, you know, sewing big um, like big rips and tears and everything like that. Yeah, of course. Yes, I am. Okay. I don't believe I have any at the moment. Thank you so much, Heidi. I hope you have a great day too. Bye. I don't think that went well. First, well, she asked me very, very minimal questions. Okay, so the interview overall, when she said she had no more questions for me, was only at 15 minutes, and she said it was gonna be like a 20-minute interview, so I guess it was only 5 minutes short. But she didn't like ask me like anything specific. Like last time, if you guys go to my like last DCP interview, they asked very, very specific questions about like how I resolved like conflicts with guests. I mean, this one was like, she just asked about like a life jacket, which like, I don't know how else, you can't like make someone work. Like I can't like force a life jacket on someone, so you know, you just have to explain the safety precautions. I don't know, that didn't go as well as I thought it would, and now I'm really scared that I'm not gonna get it. Okay, well, you know, I can't really blame myself, I guess, but I don't know, my friend who also reapplied for the Disney College program, she actually texted me questions that they like asked, like, this is what they asked her. What have you learned since the program that you can apply to a new program? What was the time you had a hard time with a guest? How did it get resolved? When did you go out of your way to help the guest? How did you handle having to tell someone they can't do something? She didn't ask me any of those questions. So I feel like I basically got dismissed. For how weird that interview was. Also, she like didn't seem like she was very into it. Like, she just kind of was like, okay. Which probably meant my answers were, like, sucking. Okay, well, I'll let you guys know, I guess in a few weeks, or she said that all the decisions will be made by the end of October, so I guess I'll let you guys know when I get my email either saying that I've been accepted by some miracle or denied, which is probably the more likely at this point. Alright, bye guys!